Good morning, friends. I am Dr. Deepankar Banerjee from Jabalpur, Director of Ideal Fertility IVF and Genetic Center Private Limited, which is placed in Madhya Pradesh. My wife, Dr. Mrs. Rinku Banerjee, is a very good pathologist and very good embryologist. My daughter Ishani is a very good molecular biologist and embryologist. We are doing IVF almost daily. Why I am making this video? This we are doing regular IVF with blastocyst transfer with ICSI with urinary gonadotropin at a cost of 1,05,000 inclusive drugs. That is there with a roughly a success rate of 50 to 55%. It might go up or down, depends upon the patient's egg status and lot of confounding factors. With evidence nowadays, the science has grown. Can we improve the IVF success rate? There are a lot of things coming in, and not all of them are 100% evidence based, but there are chances we can provide to you or patients, so it can increase the IVF success rate. The IVF fails because of two reasons. One is the endometrium. Endometrium is called soil, or the embryo. Embryo means it is the germinating seed. Germinating seed is made up of eggs and sperm. I am not going into that detail how to improve egg and sperm while doing IVF. There are a lot of evidences even how to prepare the egg and embryo to maximize IVF success rate. There are a lot of evidences coming in which are of convincing in nature. You can see a lot of things which are coming, that embryonic cell-free DNA versus trophoectoderm biopsy. Now embryonic cell-free DNA is available with us. So why I am putting this? Because we are started giving these services. You very well know that normally the fertilized egg, when it is fertilized in fallopian tube, it comes into the uterus and gets implanted on day 5 or day 6 of fertilization. In the same way, when we do IVF, we fertilize the egg with the sperm and grow it for 5 to 6 days to make a blastocyst. And then we blastocyst on day 5 or day 6 after fertilization, we transfer this egg into the uterus. Will this uterine lining, which is I called soil or scientifically called endometrium, is receptive of this embryo so that it gets implanted and lady gets a pregnancy? Sometimes there is mismatch. Even though you are putting good quality eggs, good quality blastocyst. Now, if we are putting good quality, what is the good quality blastocyst? I am coming into that. But if I put apparently good quality blastocyst and if it is not receptive, it will not implant. Can we have any method to know whether the endometrium or soil is best receptive for this embryo or not? This receptive part is day 5, which is 120 hours after ovulation, or 120 hours in frozen embryo transfer after starting progesterone. This 120 hours is a average. It might be less 12 hours, or it might be plus 12 hours, or it might be in between. We can identify where it is by analyzing the endometrium. That is called endometrial receptive analysis or array, ERA. That means this hour is particularly useful and connected to this lady only. So it is her personalized window of implantation, which will remain throughout her life, or at least which has been proved that 29 to 34 to 40 months. That means wherever we do IVF and embryo transfer, this timing can be used. How it can be used, I am going to tell you. Now, this embryo is quality wise, I am seeing it through microscope or by embryoscope or by time lapse, it is growing well. That is morphological analysis. But whether it is genetically okay or not, there are two methods to identify whether it is genetically okay or not. If you see a blastocyst, the blastocyst is made from one cell, two cell, then morula, then compaction, and then there are two sets of cells which organize in blastocyst. One is outer shell, that is trophoblast, and that is inner cell mass. This inner cell mass makes the baby. This outer cell mass, trophoblast, makes the placenta. But because they are interrelated, so I can do a trophoectoderm biopsy and do a DNA analysis, that is called next generation sequencing, by doing lot of methods. So it is a PGT, mostly PGT-A, aneuploidy, or chromosomal aberration or translocation. I am not going into that detail. But here you need a hole in the embryo with laser. So you are disturbing this embryo and taking few pieces of the trophoblast. So you are harming the embryo, although there are good evidences that even though doing biopsy, the implantation potential usually doesn't go down, but there are fear. So you need a lot of expertise over here. Now the thing is, if you do trophoectoderm biopsy, you are not getting the exact information of inner cell mass by which the baby is made. Can we have anything which gives information of this also? So this is done by NI, non-invasive PGT. Non-invasive means you don't have to touch it or don't have to invade. How can it be done? If we do a drop culture and there is blastocyst, they release DNA, this trophoectoderm and inner cell mass. This DNA comes in this liquid, and if this liquid is analyzed, then this genetics of this embryo can be known. So this is again called NI, non-invasive PGT, non-invasive PGT-A or translocation, whatever it is. If I do this also with each embryo, then we can get a genetically good potential embryo to transfer. Now if a lady wants a good success rate and wants to avail this, then you have to do a ERA in first cycle, then you have to do a IVF in this cycle. For this IVF, we can give the services with urinary gonadotropin also. Nowadays we mostly use recombinant FSH also, and we freeze the embryos here, freezing, then we mimic the HRT by where we do the ERA in analysis. With the same method we do start progesterone, and exactly at that hour we transfer the embryo. With, if couple wants NIPGT-A, then we can have NIPGT-A selected embryo transfer. So these things are available now and gives a little bit better success rate. One thing should be very clear, that you can't have 100% success rate, but if you have more command or more information about endometrium, more information about good blastocyst, morphologically looking, look wise it is good under microscope, then if we can analyze those things also, they can give a little bit better success rate with ERA, with recombinant gonadotropins and embryo analysis. These methods are definitely not included in my regular IVF, which is with urinary gonadotropin, which is 1,05,000 with medicine and up to pregnancy test. These are separate things which we have started providing to the couple so that they can avail all these services here. We have started using all for very low AMH with duostim and all. That is already you have seen the videos. So these are the new things which have little bit more scientific evidence nowadays. So we have started all these things. You can avail these things, but again I am telling you, this is not included in our routine IVF cost with urinary gonadotropins. And don't expect, even applying all these things you get 100% success rate, because everything has a caveat, everything has a problem, everything have a other confounding factors also. Thanks a lot for patient listening.